even then have gotten like a couple comments of like, oh, you're so lucky that you got this. And I don't want it to be lucky. Like, it shouldn't be lucky that a woman doesn't lose her job because she got pregnant. Like, dads aren't being told, oh, you're so lucky you got signed. So that's a little tough, but hopefully the narrative is changing.
And welcome back. We are here with Grayson Murphy. Grayson, I think the first time we did a podcast together was December of 2019, and the world was very different back then. So
it was.
welcome back.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
The first question has become a very challenging first question. And that question is, who is Grayson?
No. Grayson. Who is Grayson? Well, I think my identity is about to have a big change here soon. So ask me again in 3 months. But yeah, I'm excited for that and adding a new identity to the list. But I think in general, I'm athlete and sister, friend. Yeah, kind person. I really strive to be kind. So those are my top four.
And business owner.
And business owner, yeah.
So this is a running podcast. We'll start on the running side of things. You've been running for a good number of years now, and what I've appreciated about your approach to running is it's kind of similar to what I was just chatting about with Dan Green, where he was saying it's just all about having fun.
Yeah.
And you do so many different distances and surfaces and all sorts of like different ways to run. You've had a background as a professional track athlete with Northern Arizona Elite. What is firing you up about running? Maybe not in this moment, but like in the last few months.
I think just like the idea of coming back from pregnancy, and it's kind of like a fresh start in a way. And sometimes distance makes the heart grow fonder. So I think last year I dabbled with the 50K stuff and it was really cool, but I've found that I'm really getting pumped about shorter stuff too, thinking about it and dreaming about it. I've had dreams that I'm running and not pregnant anymore and can run fast again. So yeah, just like kind of being back and able to do what I was doing before.
And what is it about the non-conventional approach that has driven you?
Maybe it's more fun is the short answer, but yeah, I get bored easy, but also like why not? And that's kind of what I ask myself too, like why pick just one if you could have them all, and if you enjoy it all, it's cool. And the experiences I've had and the people I've met, it just like grows exponentially the more that you do things kind of out of the ordinary. And one of my favorite books is Range, and it's just like how stretching yourself in these different ways and getting different perspectives can actually make you like better than just being a person that does one thing really well. So yeah, I think that resonated with me, and having the different experiences, so then I have just a more breadth in my toolkit to handle stuff. It's fun.
And then physiologically, like it has a huge, like the short stuff helps the long stuff. I trained for a mile race in 2023, and then 2 months later did a 55K at high altitude. And I was like running uphill at 11,000 feet, passing people because I had the engine of training for a mile. Do you notice those kinds of things as well? And like, how does that come about?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like the road, track, and trail play off of each other really well, and that's not typically something people would say, or maybe in the past is more common now. But running is running, and if you're fit, you're fit. And there's certainly some like downhills maybe need to be trained more specifically, and just some things you got to do. But yeah, I think like making sure that you're touching all these different aerobic systems and skill sets all the time makes it so that you're always just ready to do anything, which is pretty fun.
You talked about absence makes the heart grow fonder. I'm curious to know more about what it's been like in this moment for you where you've had to slow down. And like we were on a group run today or yesterday and you ended up walking, and Um, and then on the way back, so today we did this 4 mile route and we ended
Yeah.
up in the
I don't
ocean.
know what we were. You were chest deep in the ocean.
I was chest deep in the ocean, but once we escaped imminent death, we started climbing back out, and you just like took off. And so there's obviously fitness that's there, but you've still had to slow down quite a lot. How has that been for you?
It was the first couple months was really tough. Kind of wrapping your brain around it, and it's kind of like an injury too, and you're just like, well, buckle up for like this 9 but really 10 months of like slowing down process. So now at month almost 8, I'm more at peace with it, now that it's almost over. But it's tough, and it's even when you can run through pregnancy, if you're lucky enough to do that, you still are slowing down the whole
Eventually,
time.
yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of a mind warp too, because you could train as much as you wanted, you're still gonna get slower.
We talked yesterday about kind of like the comparison game and the fact that like some people are able to train. Like I ran with Gwen like 4 days before she gave birth, and then there are people who can't run, a month in.
Mm.
How has that been given what you've been experiencing and what you see on Instagram and all this other stuff?
Actually really hard at the beginning. I mean, I had to delete Instagram for a couple months there, just 'cause it's hard to see. I'm jealous and like I want that experience too, and I always pictured that was what it would look like for me, and it didn't. But then you kind of realize, well, I'll take what my body's giving me, I'll do the movement I can do, which isn't nothing. I can do hiking is great, lifting, yoga, like Pilates and
Hiking uphill
stuff.
off
Yeah,
off the ocean.
yeah, exactly. Uphill's much better than
But
downhill.
you're always better at uphill,
Yeah. Um,
or good and.
yeah. So I don't know, that give and take, and it could be worse too. It could not be able to do anything. I don't know. Yeah. So just kind of focusing on what I can do and not what I can't.
And on the total other end of the spectrum, you signed a new deal with Solomon
Yeah.
during pregnancy.
Yeah.
I don't know that that would have ever happened 10 years ago, maybe even 5 years ago. What was that like? And what is it like to be a part of this like new wave of what's possible?
It's been really cool. It was still scary. That was not the timing that I wanted to happen. And so going into contract negotiations with that as like by the way, I'm also pregnant and I won't be able to race until next fall, pretty much. Um, Not how I would have timed things if I could have, but sometimes you don't get to. So yeah, it made me nervous, but there are a lot of people in the running community that were like, don't be nervous and this will work out. So having that was really nice. And then having Solomon step up and be like, we don't devalue you just because you're pregnant right now. Like that doesn't erase what you did before and what we think you can do in the future. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool. And I hate to call it an injury, but injured athletes get signed all the time. And it's just a period where you're not able to train at the level you want to, which is similar to pregnancy. So it's cool that it's like, oh, it's just like a temporary thing and you'll be back.
And what was it like to like actually sign the deal in this period of time and like understand the implication, not implication, positive implication and signal that sends to the community?
Yeah, I really hope it sends a precedent to other brands, but also other female runners that you should expect this, and this should be the level of support you expect even if you're pregnant, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise because it is possible to have this. So yeah, I hope to add to those stories that just keep growing of like, this is what the expectation should be.
What do
And
you think made it possible?
um, I mean, it helped. It's not like I don't have a resume to bring to the table,
Right.
so
But like
that's
that's what it takes. It
helpful.
takes like someone
Yeah.
with your pedigree
Yeah.
to at least help normalize it
Yeah.
so that you don't have to be a multi-time world champion
Yeah.
to be the kind of person that is able to do that.
Right. But I still, even then, have gotten like a couple comments of like, oh, you're so lucky that you got this. And I don't want it to be lucky. Like, it shouldn't be lucky that a woman doesn't lose her job
Right.
because she got pregnant. Like dads aren't being told, "Oh, you're so lucky you got
Right.
signed." So that's a little tough, but yeah, hopefully the narrative is changing and we see that you can advocate for yourself in that time, but also it's going to come from the brand seeing that women aren't like ruined or done just because they had a kid. In fact, they often get better.
And from a like relatability standpoint, like you're human, you're doing human things and creating a human. So it's like the most relatable time in your career as well,
hmm
potentially.
And from a sales standpoint, so many moms are customers. So giving them someone to relate to and look up to is, I think, a great sales pitch. And yeah, why wouldn't you?
What is it like to be a part of like a changing of the guard and changing of the ways?
It feels I'm honored to be here. But I feel like so much work was done before me too by Allison Felix, Alicia Montano, and Kara Goucher, and just like all these women who have really fought for what we have now. And we have maternity protections in these contracts that didn't exist. And I'm really grateful for that. Because even though in between contracts you don't have a protection, so
Right.
that's a little scary. But yeah, I think it just forces brands to protect that.
So you have a pretty incredible running pedigree. You've won tons of things and been on tops of many podiums. You're also really good at the storytelling side of all of it. We've worked together through my time at Inside Tracker and other places as well. What is it what is it about the like not just running for you that fires you up or is a part of your journey and story?
I guess, well, this feels like my community now too. So it just feels like, well, these are all my friends and I
Yeah.
want to tell them what's going on. But also when I share hard stuff like pregnancy or like Crohn's and mental health, it gives people something to look up to. And like, I'm not perfect either. I'm so far from perfect. And you can still like accomplish great things and not be perfect. Even with pregnancy, I've had so many women reach out and say, it's so cool to see someone like you have like not a perfect pregnancy because I didn't either. And it's not a part of like being an athlete or not. It has nothing to do with how good of an athlete I am. It's just like how your body does pregnancy, which is totally out of your control. So that's been cool too. Yeah.
I had a conversation with Seth, who's downstairs, Seth LaRue this morning about imposter syndrome and like how I've talked about having imposter syndrome. I've spoken with Olympic champions and Olympic medalists who have had imposter syndrome. And my point was like, if someone who's been at the top of the world can experience it, like there's no hope for the rest of us to be
Yeah.
saved from experiencing it. But like, um, I guess the point is like you are a multi-time champion, you've done all the things, and you're saying that like life is hard, life isn't perfect. And that's like the most relatable piece of any of it. And we see so many stories that are just the highlight reels. And I think that that's one of the reasons that people love following you on social. Um, but it's like we need more of that. We need more people being real and showing that like life is hard no matter how fast you are, no matter how much money you make or whatever the context is.
Yeah. Yeah. I look for those people on social media too and have found a couple women and I'm going to butcher her last name, Rieskman. She's German, but she's a German cyclist and she had like a similar post on she's pregnant right now too and just that it's like kind of hard to be a professional cyclist and be pregnant and um yeah, like seeing hers not be perfect either is like cool. Like there's someone else out
Yeah.
there and I need to see that too.
Who are your other inspirations?
Um, uh, we have a Trail Baby Mamas group, and it's MK, Leah, Rachel, me. I think that might be it right now. They've been really helpful because they're kind of on the other side of it now. And then Rachel to my check-in, Mary Denholm are kind of going through it with me right now, which has been nice to ask like, "Do you feel this yet?" And
Yeah.
um, yeah, I think Kira D'Amato has been always someone I've looked up to, like having kids, stepping away from the sport, coming back, setting an American record is pretty incredible. Um, so many McKenna Myler, Erica Flowers, she's in Bozeman with me and has been like incredibly helpful answering all my questions of how does one do this? I've talked to Alafine quite a bit as well. And yeah, there's just everyone's so supportive and there's like we have these group chats. There's a road pro moms group chat and a trail one and it's
And
been
you're in
so
both.
fun. Yeah, I'm in both. So I get all the intel, but yeah, everyone's so helpful and willing to just tell you like these are the best diapers, this is the best breast pump, and this is how I trained. And like it's so cool to have women supporting each other like that.
What's are you kind of hesitating setting any sort of goals for the rest of the year or for next year? Is it like are you allowing yourself to dream a little bit too?
Yeah, for better or worse, I'm naively dreaming, but I would love to get my marathon debut finally
Wow.
before the
Okay.
end of the year,
Cool.
and get I say the OTQ, but I really hope I run a lot faster than just the OTQ. Yeah, so I think that's kind of my like keeping me excited and hopeful for the year. But like November, December,
Yeah.
so give me some time to look
What is
into
it
it.
about the marathon?
I don't know. Every time I watch one, I'm like, that looks like so much fun.
Yeah.
And
It's like
I've,
2.5 hours of her.
yeah, but that's like shorter than the 50K. So I'm
Right.
like, great. Um, and I miss road stuff. It's been with Crohn's disease last year, kind of like didn't get to do all the races I wanted to. So I've been trying to get back to the roads and fast stuff. And now seems like as good of time as any with the comeback. So yeah, I'm really praying for a nice recovery postpartum and then can work into a road season.
What is it about the road side that you've been missing?
Running fast. It feels so good to run
Yeah.
fast when you're like fit and it's clicking and
Yeah.
I miss that. And the trails, you're still running fast, but I feel like it can be more choppy and yeah. And then I also think maybe less downhill might be nice for the pelvis coming back.
Probably.
So yeah.
Um, you've bopped around with different distances. You resisted the longer or 50K side of things for a while,
Yeah.
and in that time, I don't want to say resisted. You didn't do the 50K for a while, but in that time, the sub ultra discipline has really matured, and there are brands that are focused on it. There are race series that are focused on it. And there's real money that's
Yeah.
being ponied up to incentivize people to get after it. Um, what is it? What is it about choosing races? Like, how are you choosing races? How are you choosing the distances? And how have you been so disciplined in like sticking to what you find fun versus like 3 years ago, it would have been really easy for you to be like, all the money's in 100 miles. I'm gonna go do my first 100 miler.
I guess I want to have fun, so that really like guides
Yeah.
it too. And because I think if I'm not motivated, if it doesn't sound fun, I'm not going to do as well. Um, but also my skill set felt like it was just better suited
Yeah.
for the sub ultra stuff. And in ways, I still think it is. And with my goals on the road too, like I'm not trying to get too far away from the speed yet. And there's just some things left on the table that I want to use that speed
On
for.
the track or just road or
Probably
roads?
just road,
Yeah.
but maybe a rogue 5K here or there. Um, but yeah, I just like, I don't feel quite done with that
Yeah.
and then can commit to later. Because I always say you can do both at the same time. I do think a fast 5K and 100 mile, the training starts to diverge a little too far to make that like
Unless you're in the camp of
accessible.
David Roche with a 14
Yeah,
minute 5K for a 100
maybe.
mile race.
That's true, yeah. So, maybe it's out there, but yeah, I think I feel like I have some unfinished
But I
business.
do think, jokes aside, I do think that the training for longer ultras has matured to a point where, like, everyone is so fast
Yeah.
that you have to be fast. And so like there are a lot of people that are training like they're training for a marathon, but their long runs are longer and their tempos are longer. Do you think that um I guess it's like do you have an interest at some point in going further, or is it like a I'll wait and see, but for right now I'm really stoked on.
No, I do. I'm last year I was saying I was 50K curious, and then I did get to try that out. So I am 100-mile curious, but I feel like that's a
Down
ways
the road.
away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and more, I think at least right now, like Western states sounds more fun than like a hard rock
Yeah.
because I still want to run.
Right.
Um, I think I was telling you today or yesterday, I don't love hiking all the time.
Despite being very good at it.
Yeah. But I think thinking of a long race where you're just hiking a
Yeah.
lot doesn't
Like
fire me up as
UTMB.
much. Yeah. Yeah. That could be you can run.
You
I
could
don't know,
run.
maybe. Yeah, so maybe like those two sound cool.
Not raining.
Yeah. Or snowing. But yeah,
What does the curiosity look like for you?
I guess well, even wrapping my brain around like 100 miles is crazy,
Right.
and to think you would do that on your feet is
In a day?
crazy. Yeah. And
Let
what does
alone in
that
a week.
feel
Yeah.
like? Yeah, like what kind of pain does that feel like? Which is how I'm approaching
You gotta go have the
childbirth
baby
too.
first and
Yeah.
then like
Like
the 100
how
mile
bad could
won't
it
be.
be? Yeah.
Yeah.
Bad.
I think the curiosity piece is what resonates most for me. Like I want to put myself in that arena and like see what I look like on the other side of it and like how I handle it. And like I've had some challenges lately with mental strength and resilience and just like not showing up as the best version of myself outside of running. And I was talking to my girlfriend Kate about it, and she was like, "You choose discomfort constantly in running, and you just like can't do it in life sometimes." And this was specifically around like we were fostering a puppy, and I was just getting crushed by like the change of routine and the like waking up in the middle of the night and doing all the things that are like outside of my routine and changing the schedule and all this stuff. I was like, yeah, maybe I just need to like set a crazy goal and do something wildly uncomfortable
Yeah.
and let myself grow.
Uh-huh.
So maybe I
It's
will.
part of the stretch. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I felt with the 50K. It's just like, this feels crazy. Like 30 miles is a
Yeah.
long way, and what is that going to feel like? But it was fun.
It's so interesting because, and I love that you said that because I live in Boulder where like people run 50Ks every weekend. And I think I was telling you, like Hayden would come over every week after he and Dan Jones would run 50K as like a training run, and we'd like take a sauna. And I can't sauna after like a 50-mile run.
No,
And it's just like so normalized to run these far distances. And I'm like, that's really freaking
it
far. Like
is far.
people here that ran 50K yesterday,
Yeah,
and they're just like
fine.
jogging and they're
Yeah.
fine. I'm like, this is, but I think that's what's really cool about everything's relative. The context is constantly shifting. And like if I looked at the runner I was 10 years ago, he wouldn't recognize what I'm doing today. And I think that's a lot of the beauty of the
Yeah.
sport.
I feel that way too. Yeah, 10 years ago, me wouldn't have never believed I'd be here talking to
10 years
you.
ago was 2016. Were you with Nat, Northern
No, I
Arizona?
was still in college. Yeah, I had just started at Utah, so I still no All-Americans
Yeah.
yet. Like, nothing. Yeah.
What would you say to that version of Grayson?
Buckle up. This is this like
You're
little
not gonna
sport.
believe
Yeah,
what you're gonna see.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah, or the places you're gonna go and the people you're gonna meet.
Yeah.
So cool. Just hang on.
One of the things that you've added to your repertoire is sitting right next to us here. What is this? By the way, if you are listening to this podcast and wondering what we're pointing at, it is also available on YouTube to watch, so you can see what we're pointing at. But Grayson, what is this?
This is our Wild Strides Paper Company training log and
Show it to
planner.
the camera.
Um, we have a green cover this year as well. This is a purple cover. But yeah, this has been my little passion project side hustle turned full hustle business for this is year 8 of this. And I think when we first talked, it was like brand new.
Year 2 or
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's been really fun. And yeah, we've grown a lot. Now we have these, and then we have some other stationery like stickers and journals for athletes. And it's all just like fun athlete themed. We've had a couple collabs, one with Hillary Allen, one with the Subhub podcast. So it's been fun to like have another way to connect with the running community outside of racing and race results, and also I've learned a lot of life skills, yeah, and business skills along the way. And we've expanded. Brittany Miller's our managing director now, so I'm not shipping out of my garage anymore, which is huge. Yeah. And then we have a coaching collective that we added last year. So that's like just been really cool to like see it grow and do something other than race.
What's been the inspiration behind all of that?
I've always had an entrepreneurial spirit. The number of things I tried to sell when I was a kid, my parents tried to sell sock monkeys on Etsy, which I think I did sell a couple. Lemonade, we had lots of lemonade stands. Me and my sister had a leaf raking business, which actually we raked it in.
You raked it.
Yeah,
Yeah, nice.
literally. I sold, I wanted to sell sponges. I don't know what I was thinking, but made clothes for like these sponges and thought it was like the next big hit. It was not. Yeah, but this one stuck, I guess. So it's been cool to like see that happen. And another one of those like just,
Is it the curiosity of like what can you build?
yeah, I think so. And seeing other people sell stuff and being like, why can't I do that and figure it out and just figure it out.
What did the figuring it out process look like? How have you done that?
Um, yeah, I guess starting from the beginning was like, how do you create something like this? And I'm not a digital designer, so I, the first year would draw it all and then send it to a designer and she digitized everything. And then since then have been like all kind of like mock-up stuff, and I've gotten better at Adobe now and Canva. I'm proficient. But we still have a designer. Then sourcing everything too. On all the materials and the paper type and quality and what's cheaper and what still gives you a margin on things and where do you get this stuff, how to build a website, like all these things. It's like all these cool life skills that I've picked up along the way that I can use, how to market something, a product that's not like my personal brand. Yeah, it's been really cool
And you've
networking.
done some partnerships on with that and worked with creators and other people to promote
Yeah.
your product.
Yeah, which is cool and that's been a little easier because I know the other side of it. So that's helpful. But yeah, I mean, like even reaching out to podcasts and like, how can we advertise this and what does that look like, especially with social media algorithms changing rapidly and not being as reliable as they were 4 years ago. Yeah.
What was it like to be a total beginner in a space like that?
Honestly, I kind of like it. And that's how I felt about running too when I started. It's cool. There's no pressure and it's just like a learning experience, which I enjoy. It can be there is definitely some overwhelming points. I've had some tears, some shipping mishaps that, yeah, you correct later, but yeah, it's good life lessons.
Um, what's firing you up in running, maybe as a fan of the sport right now?
Oh, that's a great question. I think the seeing all the women doing well and kind of like participation numbers in trail specifically rising has been really cool to see. And I feel like we're finally seeing sub ultra kind of have its moment, which I've been
Andy
waiting
Wacker
for.
effect.
Yeah. Andy's done so much for this sport and it's been cool to like, I feel like I got in there, but it was still pretty early and now it's cool to see other people coming like straight out of college into trail and sub ultra, which is kind of what I did. And when I did it, people were like, "What are you doing?" And now it's more normal, and I love that.
Did you see the trail media house
No,
that is launching in Boulder?
actually, yes, I did see
Can we
that.
talk about this for a
Yeah,
second?
okay, yeah.
Do you have opinions or thoughts?
I mean, I want to watch. It
Yeah,
seems cool. It's like a reality show, but
but real
from what
life.
I read,
Yeah.
yeah. Uh-huh.
So for those who aren't familiar, there are a couple of brands that are putting together. So Brad, the founder of Lever, Brad Miles, has a property in Boulder, and he is friends with Hyperlight and Jeremy and Emery, who run Hyperlight, which is a sports nutrition company, and they got their start, or they started with Hans Troyer and um, a video that got, I don't know, 2 million views in his build up to, was it Western States or Black Canyon? Yeah. And so they stumbled into like media as being the tip of the spear, or like how to learn about the brand. And so the idea is put a bunch of uh, post collegiate trail runners who are unsponsored in a house and let them cook and give them cameras, give them access to capture content, and then give them the tools to like just train and let other people produce the content. And so I think it's a super cool concept. I'm helping them a little bit with the partnership side of things and finding other brands that want to give them products. So if you're a brand that
Do
is,
they need training logs?
they probably do need
Okay,
training
get them
logs.
training logs.
So if you're a brand in and out of the running space and you want to play with this concept, let's chat.
Right.
John at for the long.run. But yeah, I think it's such a cool idea, and it's hopefully the future of where the sport is headed, like more access. And I think that's like a huge reason that you've had the ability, you're in a place where for you, it's not just performance, it's the storytelling, because this has always been a part of what you're doing. And hopefully it's a lesson that other people can learn as well.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's definitely given me access to more partnerships than some other athletes. And even though now I try not to, the influencer and pro athlete line is very gray right now. And I try not to be too much on the influencer side, but yeah, it's been a cool way to like fund this and make sure that I'm supported. And it's easy just, well, for me, it's easy just being yourself. For some people, I think sharing can be difficult, and that's not a knock to them, but yeah, it's cool.
Speaking of non-running brands, we should have had a cup of Pioneer Pastures and
Yeah,
cheers some A2 milk.
yeah,
Do you want to talk more about that partnership
sure, yeah,
and what that looks like and why it's such a home run for you?
yeah. Yeah, well, you connected us, so thank you very much. They're a Bozeman brand, which is really cool, and I've never, I don't think I've worked with a brand that's in the same city as me, so
Yeah.
it's cool to, when we meet in person,
Oh, cool.
which is awesome. Um,
Yeah, I learned they were in Bozeman. I was like, okay, this is another reason that you need to
yeah,
meet Grayson.
yeah, it was perfect. And it's been cool, like they make the A2 milk, which is more easily digestible, and then they also have the protein shakes, which are really good, and Logan drinks
So
all of
good.
them,
Yeah.
and I'm always like, no, those were mine. Yeah, so it's been really fun to work with them. We did an activation at the Every Women's Marathon in November, and that was huge success. We had like 200 people show up for this group run. And yeah, it's just cool to work with like non-endemic partners like that. And I know you've always been a big proponent of working with partners outside of the direct running space, but that want to be like running an athlete adjacent. And Lagoon is like that too, Lagoon Sleep that I work with. They're so supportive, and it's nice to have those partners too. And then your main Solomon running sponsor.
Yeah, I think this is hopefully a future that is here sooner rather than later. I am kicking off a partnership with a meat delivery company called Good Ranchers. So we're coming full circle with the dairy and now
Yeah.
the full cow. But the conversation I had with Good Ranchers was effectively like runners need iron, runners need protein, and they need quality sources of meat. And this is a brand that has sponsored IndyCar races before. And so like the spend in a running property is minuscule compared to the spend of an
Yeah,
IndyCar.
I bet.
And so the whole bet was basically like everyone listening to this podcast is either vegan or a perfect customer for
Yeah,
them, or vegetarian
perfect.
or
Yeah,
a perfect customer for them.
yeah,
And so it's like another opportunity to bring something to the audience that will help them with energy, will help them with food, will help them with convenience for bringing something into their house that they can feed their family with. But it's not a shoe. It's not, precision. It's not, something that you consume while you're running. And these non-running brands are realizing that like we are a great demographic and we buy things and there are plenty of things that we need.
yeah,
And so like my one of my whole goals is to like bring more money into running to cover media, to cover athletes and events and just like really prop up the whole space. So it's really cool to hear the experience of working with a company like Pioneer Pastures that it's like a milk sponsor.
yeah.
But like I haven't drank dairy in probably 20 years and because I'm lactose intolerant, but I can drink Pioneer Pastures.
Perfect.
So
Yeah.
it's
It's
like
so
I
nice.
told them and they're like, yes, duh, this makes
You can
sense.
drink it. Yeah. Yeah. And I wasn't really not on the milk train either because I also had Crohn's and like stomach issues, and it's so much gentler. And I can have these shakes and not be in the bathroom, which is amazing. And it tastes really good too. So yeah, it's been fun.
So as an athlete, what is it? Tell me more talk more about the benefit of having non-running brand sponsors.
I
Like,
think,
why is this important?
well, from a financial standpoint, it definitely just makes you feel more stable. Um, but also, it's tough when you're competing. If you're just looking at all the running sponsors, you're competing with all the other pro runners, and that can get really competitive. And unless you have sometimes like the best resume, you might not get that spot. But with these non-endemic partners, they might not need you to be winning everything. They can have you,
Show up
yeah,
to an event
yeah,
and run a group run.
yeah, and be good at storytelling on social media. But also, that's another reason to have like a social media presence, because likely you're not going to have these non-endemic sponsors without some sort of social media interaction, for better or worse. And kind of finding that balance is up to everyone. But I think it's important. It's also nice to have brands that are like, we just want to support you. We don't care if you win. Just like
Yeah.
get out there.
Particularly in this season.
Yeah, yeah, especially right now.
Is there anything else that you wanted to chat through today?
Solomon?
What else you got?
Uh, I'm really excited to, well, when I was doing the negotiation process with my agent and talking to brands, it was really important that the brand had great road and trail products, and Solomon was kind of like in that short list of brands, and it's just been, I feel really grateful that that worked out the way it did. So I'm really excited for all the products they have coming up, and I'm still learning all the shoe names. But yeah, it's been really fun
Are you
to,
courting Molly to join you?
yeah, I should. And I've been taking tips from Dan, asking him like, what shoe
Yeah,
is this and what should I wear it for and what clothing item is this? And yeah, it's been really fun. So excited to explore a new partnership moving
cool.
forward.
Awesome. Well, Grayson, this has been a blast.
Thank you.
Thanks for sharing your story, and we'll see you out there.
Thank you.